Oh,
Here
hi,
we
everybody.
Hello.
Huzzah! We are finally back after a semi-extended break for good old Hogwarts The Next Generation. It's been a bit, so let's do a quick introduction of ourselves before we get into our recap and the silliness that I have planned for today. So yeah, I'm just gonna popcorn it to Belvedere.
Hello, all. I'm Belvedere. I play Chester. Chester is easy because he's just scared of everyone and everything. So, yay.
Poor Chester.
Poor Chester, indeed. He's got it rough.
Wait, where's my Google Docs?
And
I
he
have
has
I
no
have that as the
future.
quote,
And he
right?
has no.
Got it
See?
easier than he thinks, yeah. But nope, no future.
No future, but he's actually learned a lot. Whether or not he believes any of it, he's learned quite a lot.
It's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's go to Gideon.
Okay, I'm Saint. I play Gideon. Gideon is a Weasley. She does not really care about school, but is having fun, making friends, and exploring, and causing some shenanigans. And I'm pretty sure she just ordered a bunch of new supplies. So we'll see what
You
happens
were
when those come in.
Yeah, and you were given a bunch of supplies too.
Yes, and then I asked,
Mhm.
I don't remember who to bring me to get me more
Yeah.
because I can't go to Hogsmeade yet.
No, no, you cannot. Correct. All right. Let's go down to Amelia.
Hi, I'm Annie. I play Amelia. Um, she probably should have been put in Slytherin at this point because of how much shit she's trying to get into. Um, and she has the bestest, most adorable owl ever, Winston,
Winston.
Facts.
who has a special somebody. And I don't
Who
remember
you've ac-
if we figured it out yet or not.
you have.
We
I have.
have.
Okay.
I
My
believe.
notes are somewhere. I don't know where my binder is because I moved from upstairs to downstairs. There's no telling where everything
I
is.
don't believe you've
Oh
learned the owl's name, but you know it
no,
belongs to, I believe,
the
Clara Flamel.
Flamels. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the
okay, I
house owl
remember.
for the Flamel family, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I have written down because I
That's
take
where you
notes on
found,
Winston's girlfriend.
of course, it's highly important.
It's the
You
one
just
thing
keep your
Gideon cares
priorities
about.
straight.
Yeah. Yeah, you found a bunch of your stuff underneath the
The
perch of this
other,
owl. Yeah.
I remember now.
And Peter has given all of you a student die. Thank you,
I
Peter.
was about to tell you
Yay!
that. Yeah.
Thanks,
Perfect.
Peter.
All right. Next is Ava, and you can introduce D&D Play 20 at the same time, please.
Hi, right. So I'm gonna start with D&D Play 20 introduction. We are a group of crazy nerds and nice people who like to play D&D and all sorts of tabletop role-playing games and love stories and hanging out. So if you want to be a part of it, join us on Discord. The link will be in the chat soon. And you can also be part of games that are streamed, unstreamed, those different things that are going on. As to me, I am Mariana, or Vagabunda, however you know me, and I play Ava Harper, who is a Ravenclaw that should think she should have been in Slytherin as well.
Hmm.
um, and who's got plans for what she wants, who she wants to become. It's just not going very well.
All
Yeah.
right. We might have Alonzo today, our other Slytherin student, whether or not Raza makes it in time. We hopefully we will get him, but if we don't, well, we will come up with something fun for him next session because he has a lot on the go for his character too. And he was handed a book that his dad was kind of looking for that has some sort of protective charm on it from Albus Dumbledore. So that's going to be fun for him to learn how to break. Might take him a few years. It's going to be fun. And I am Brandon. I am playing, well, so many people. I am your headmaster, all your professors, and about 600 students. Yeah, about that.
And the pets. You're also the
And
pet.
the pets.
Also, all the pets. And I have a list of all the pets.
And some of the parents as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Once we hit the summer, it's going to be
Ghosts.
fun. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of people in this one, but we're getting through it. This is the voice you get for most of them. I'm not sorry for that because it's really all I get.
Hmm.
But you get different attitudes. That's the important part. So, let's go into our lovely recap. Then we will pick up where we left off.
Yes, hi, that's me. Now, I have been
That's you.
sick, but I'm still going to do the recap because I need
Mhm.
the advantage.
Yeah,
So,
which will last about 20 minutes.
I roll bad. Anyways. Unless I'm playing whoever I played last session, in which case it's
True.
only now 20s for anyone but Crystal. Alright. So last session was a Weasley bag full of fun. We started
Okay.
off going over what our players were doing the rest of the first week back to class after the holidays before hitting up the weekend. Most were just doing their own thing with classes and getting back into the swing of things, and a few others were planning some shenanigans for a later date. Through that week, Amelia finally learned that it was Clara's house owl that was getting close to Winston, as he had stolen some of her things to give as gifts to this other owl. Alonzo was handed a book by Professor Aberforth Dumbledore and told that he will need to learn how to dispel the magical lock that his brother has placed over it before he can learn what it is his dad is looking for. Ava had another talk with Scorpius to see if he had heard from Draco yet, to which he told her that he'll be home soon. Gideon mostly spent her her extra time in the barn with her friends, the animals, while Chester was trying to gain the courage to show something to Yosh. Come the weekend, things got fun. We started off with Yosh telling Chester it was time for another D&D session, so we did a little Inception and played D&D inside of Hogwarts. Our players played the other 4 characters. Yosh also wanted his D&D sessions to have a real Wizarding World feel to it, so it was fully immersed with sounds, music, smoke, fire, and enchanted battle maps. It also had some Harry Potter lore tossed in. The session was a reenactment of the Battle of Autumn Hollow that took place during the height of the 1762 Goblin Rebellion, a time when Goblin forces, tired of systemic oppression and exclusion from wand use, rose up against the Wizarding World. Autumn Hollow, once a sleepy wizarding village nestled in the Vale of Avonmere, but became the site of a key turning point in the rebellion. So our players finally got to do some combat, just not anything Hogwarts related. The battle raged on for a while before Chester's character, Tassie, almost went down from an axe to the back from Erg the Unclean, the goblin leader, and then a horn sounded in the distance that brought in some reserves on the goblin side. Werewolves. 3 huge werewolves started to circle the group as they huddled together, hope fading from their eyes. Someone apparated near them and called a lightning bolt on top of the werewolves, turning them to ash. They were saved by the new Minister of Magic, one
Hesperatus.
I don't know how to say that. Gore. As the session ended and Yosh told them more about the battle, they leveled to 2. While this was happening, Gideon and Alonzo were in the Slytherin common room listening to one of Uncle George's new ads. Weasley's Wizard Wheezes presents a new year of mischief. After the message ended, an owl with a box crashed into Gideon and dropped the box. She also, at that moment, saw something scribbled on the wall where a book just fell, something in Parseltongue, but decided to come back later to look at it as the contents of the box started to move on their own. It did seem to be some sort of spell, though. Next came something fun for the Ravenclaws. They were all woken up early by Helena Ravenclaw, as it was time for a book hunt. A book for advanced summoning. It was something she came across before she died, but forgot about it until it was found once again by her a while back. But the spell that was inside this book was something that would change the wizarding world forever, and if one of them did find it, it would be the one to either hoard the knowledge, share it, or destroy it. So in Ravenclaw fashion, they were given a series of riddles and puzzles to solve to find it, and of course a lot of nat 20s were then rolled, turning a 3-session puzzle that the DM did into about an hour before the book was found.
So many 20s. It's
It was a
ridiculous.
lot. It was a lot.
There's like
I think
So
9 or 10
nice.
between all of you.
I
Yeah.
think I don't know if there was a puzzle that didn't have a nat 20 from someone.
No, I'm
That's
pretty sure
true.
all of it did. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Magica Antiqua, whatever.
Antica.
The Forgotten Arts, author Erastus Lycoris, 1273 to 1449, year of publication, circa 1320. This book will teach our first-year Ravenclaw students who banded together to find the spell inside is Ars Fidelis, the bonding charm, the art of loyalty. Basically, find familiar. Also, it's not in the recap, but I did go back and look at that
Right.
parcel tongue on the wall, and it
Yeah.
was some sort of spell, Lumos Nocturna, revealing things that were hidden, but on the like dark side. Not sure what that's
Yes.
about. That's probably fine. Session end.
It's okay.
The
It'll
end.
be fine.
Everything's
Nothing
fine.
bad ever happens in the Slytherin common room.
Nothing bad happens when
No,
you
of
give
course
a Weasley
not.
parcel tongue.
Not at all. No. Nope. Nope. Never. All right. Thank you. You can take your other. Well, you have a
Yay.
student die, but you can take your good
I'll
old
take my
heroic
inspiration.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Student dies like inspiration?
Student die is a D4. You can add
It's like a
to
bless.
any
Got it.
roll
Yeah.
that you need to. Yeah, pretty much
Okay.
plus. Yeah. You can use for anything. Like you can save it for 5 years down the road for exams if you want. It's up to you. Most of you will probably eventually use them all for Quidditch.
Probably. Almost definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that is a great place. So yeah, you literally are just finishing being congratulated to solving the riddle. What would you like to do after that? You're pretty much in the library, I believe, and heading back to the. I think you actually just headed back to the Ravenclaw dorm room to hand that in, where the rest of you are probably sitting outside waiting to hear about what happens next. So we'll take it away with our two Ravenclaws while the rest of you hover outside the Ravenclaw dorm room.
What?
So Ava and Amelia, you guys, along with your extra helper, Kala, pretty much all your Ravenclaw students are hovering around, looking at you, going, "So, have you decided yet? Are you going to share it or what?"
I even looked at Amelia. Like, yeah, both of us. Are we?
You have like a couple hundred students around you right now. Yeah, can we know? Can we know? It's like knowledge is power. Of course they're going to tell everybody.
Can we have a couple of days to decide?
No. At this point, you have like a bunch of sparks go in the air, and you just have Professor Flitwick just walk, like trying to shove people out of the way. No, 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 students. You know, they're the ones who found it. They're the ones who get to decide. And you, even in the background, you hear Helena go, "That's what I just said." Now, everyone, I know it's the weekend, and this was unexpected, but let's let them have their time. Now, everyone scatter. Go back to do something.
Quick question
And
about
everyone
table.
grumbly. Yep.
Wasn't there like a thing where the ghost of Helena said that we were planning on not deciding to keep her around. Wasn't there
Yeah.
something like
No.
that?
She said this was the very last secret she has kept at school, and she might be moving on.
Yeah, and we kind of just had the
But she
feeling
wanted to see
What
what our
happens?
decision would be.
so if we
Yes.
delayed it as much as possible, she would probably stick around, was what we were thinking, right?
She's a ghost, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, but that's what we thought. Me and Amelia.
She
I
told
assume.
you that she'd at least stay a week, and that's it. That was the last thing she
Okay.
told you. Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't going to be soon, but she's to the point where she's ready to move on, which would leave Hogwarts with 2 ghosts, well, and 1 poltergeist.
That doesn't like to be anywhere.
No, because you have not seen the Bloody Baron at all.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I never realized that, but I'm also not a Slytherin, so.
Nope.
Yeah, we don't care.
Fair enough.
Uh-huh.
As soon as like Professor Flitwick starts trying to disperse
Yeah,
the
he's
students,
pretty much like shoving people away as much as he can at 3 feet tall.
Ava is like
Most of
searching.
his students are all taller than him.
Oh yeah. Ava starts like searching for Amelia's hand to like hold and try to like sneak past to their actual
Yeah.
dorm.
Okay. Yeah, you
She'll
even
hold
have
it
like
and like not let go because right now she's terrified.
Absolutely the
There's
same.
so many people,
I just want
Yep.
to
and she
run
doesn't want to
away.
let anybody down.
no. And remind me, did we have the rest of your Ravenclaws with you or no? Like Clara, I don't think they were they?
Oh, they were. It was 4
And
of us, right? It was Ava, Amelia. The 4th year was at the final bit, but I think Clara
you had
and
you also had your friends with you too. They're sitting outside the Ravenclaw dorm room right now. Gideon,
Us?
Chester, and Alonzo. Weren't you there? Yeah.
No, we weren't there. They didn't get us, remember?
We
Yeah.
were in the library piece,
Right.
and
That's
then
right. It was just
They
the
never got
Ravenclaw.
us. We have no idea what they're doing.
yeah,
Right,
no,
right.
but
Perfect.
I believe
That's
we
why we
had,
played the other characters.
Yeah, I believe.
That's what it was. Beautiful.
Yeah, I believe we had
Cool.
Clara and Sarah's with us.
Yeah, you had Clara, Sirius, and I think I don't think you had Addison and Melody Folly. I don't think the Follies went with you, and I don't think Danny went with you. Okay,
No, I don't think so.
that's right. Yeah, you had Sirius and Clara.
Clara.
Perfect. So
Yeah, we're
just the
just.
girls. So I'll move you back to the female Ravenclaw dorm room.
Yeah, I would just try to like bring them with me because it's scary being surrounded by hundreds of people wanting you to do something.
Oh yeah,
So
especially a
that's
bunch of Ravenclaws.
Yeah.
so
Like
once
most
we're
of them are in like literally like you'd even see a couple like thinking of trying to use something to follow you guys with like spells like tracking spells and listening spells, but you just see Professor Flitwick just immediately like snap his fingers, and just once again his voice booms, goes, leave them alone, shoot, go, or I will take some house points away from you. Oh, by the way, our first years each get 20 house points for finding the clues in perfect time.
Woot woot.
So that's an extra 100 for you guys.
nice
Because you technically have the 4th year student
student as
who is
well, yeah.
walking with you.
To our
Kala.
dorm. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Kala is coming. I don't have a token for her, so I am sorry. So yes, you have a 4th-year Ravenclaw coming for the first year dorm rooms with you guys. Well, seeing as I'm the oldest between us all, I think it should be up to me to figure out what we should do.
I no.
That depends on what
Mm,
what you think your decision's going to be, because
well, you guys needed help to find it. I did it all on my own.
we got a lot further than you think we did without your help.
Yes, I think you cheated somehow, but I can't prove that.
Well, if
So-
you call teamwork cheating,
I didn't need help. So, what do you all think we should do? This has potential to be very, very, very profitable.
I look at.
Please. We could go on we could be interviewed by so many people with our decision and go worldwide with this if we wanted to. We could be extremely popular.
Are you talking about if we keep it or if we share it?
Of course, keep it. Why would you share this?
I look at Emilia. It's like other than keeping Helena here, I don't see why not.
Well, think on it. Read the spell. Open it up and take a look.
I have so many tabs.
So basically, what the spell will do for you. Where did I put it? Yeah, it's basically find familiar. So it's a ritual that will allow you to summon some sort of creature that will bond with you. The spell itself will detail pretty much what Find Familiar does for you. It can act as a scout, it can act as a guide, it can act as a friend, whatever you want it to be. The thing is, it is technically considered a fey creature for this, and it'll detail all the things that it can do. It'll be with you full time. It can go in and out of existence. You can pretty much control it and almost like see from its eyes. It's basically an extra pair of eyes and senses. It's a whole bunch of fun stuff. So, Cal is pretty much going to say that, well, pretty much what you guys have heard before, that if worldwide, this could be a very good thing for a lot of people. But if Dark Wizards got a hold of this spell, they could use it for terrible things.
Yeah.
What
don't,
if?
But you're 11, so there's not many terrible
Yeah.
things that are happening for
Like,
you
Right.
guys. So.
I don't think that it should be up to us to decide who gets access to it, but I think we should agree that we are willing to share it. It then would be up to us who we share it with, right? Or
Well,
am I thinking wrong?
I mean, because if we share it with the school, there's gonna be familiars everywhere.
That's true.
which is a good thing and a bad thing. Yes,
But if we
the
share it
commotion
with
alone would be.
even if we share
I
it
just
with a
don't know if
limited
it's.
amount of
Yes.
people, then it should be okay, right?
What if we do kind of like what Helena
Helena?
did. Helena. Have them go through like a sort of test their not their worth, their not their mind, but their intentions, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, that would probably make it less likely that people that use certain or have certain intentions wouldn't. I don't know. This is very complicated.
Right? Which is why I figured I'd come talk to you guys. Well, I personally would rather keep it for myself, but I'll let you guys decide on your own. But we're going to do it as a group when we decide yes or no. Brandon just found the spell. So this forgotten spell allows a wizard to form an unbreakable magical bond with a small sentient creature. Unlike ordinary pets, this bonded creature called a fidelis can share thoughts, emotions with its wizard, perform minor magical feats, and even serve as an extension of their magic. Once cast, the spell does not summon a creature, but instead finds and awakens a suitable magical fey familiar, calling it to the wizard as if the fate itself has arranged their meeting. Many students who attempt the spell report to their Fidelis appearing within days, seemingly by chance. There is an addendum saying if you already have a magical creature, you can bond with it. The casting ritual is in depth. This isn't something that happens quick. It's about like an hour-long ritual with a whole bunch of stuff you're gonna need.
I like your idea,
And
Amelia.
it does have a risk and warning section. Some Fidelis creatures choose their wizard permanently, meaning they cannot be dismissed like ordinary familiars. If the bond is betrayed, the Fidelis may vanish forever, or worse, curse its former master. Dark wizards have perverted the spell to bind sinister creatures such as cursed shades or Inifre-bound spirits, but they haven't used the spell since it has been lost. Yeah. So there's a lot of fun things with this.
Okay, we also don't have to share the whole thing, right?
We just share that it's a thing.
Well, my thought is, you know how it says like there's dangers for this and it can do this. What if we just share the simple parts and keep the rest?
Like just share the ritual itself and how to do it.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it with everyone. We can still be selective about it. We can still share, we can still do Amelia's idea of if people want to find it, they will still have to go through some sort of series of tests to try to minimize the chance of their intentions being bad. And then what they do find, if they succeed, is just how to do it and what it does, not with this other dark part.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna have to find out what the ministry says too.
There's that.
Yes. Because this has the feel of being regulated.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it should be
I know.
as regulated. Who can use it?
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Maybe we can have it so that you need like a permit for it.
Like the werewolves?
For example.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, should we vote now then?
Oh God.
We could wait a week. It doesn't matter. Just
Because I
why don't
feel
we
like
each
we're
talk to our friends
on a very
and think about
similar
it?
page.
Clara is pretty much, yeah. This I want to give it to a lot of, like, even my family would be great with this.
Yeah.
Cirrus is kind of like thinking deeply. It's like this. It's like imagine the Malfoys with this.
Yeah. But at the same time, it might even be able to help you. Like maybe you could have a familiar that is attuned to your curse and can like
On
warn you when something's gonna
bad
happen.
days, they can. Well, or on bad days, it can go to class for me, and I could watch from there.
For example, there's so many good things you can do.
Yeah.
There's so many bad things.
There's so many
Yes.
bad things too.
So
That's
many.
why I don't think it should be us like controlling that.
Oh, we'll play with it for now. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Yeah, like you guys spent most of the day doing this because, like, you're pushing close to dinner by now. By the time it was done, and you're on Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Sunday. Yeah,
I don't remember.
I think it was the Sunday night. So we're gonna pull back. Gideon and Chester, can you roll me a d20, please?
19. Oh.
Ooh, 19 and an 18. What is Gideon doing on the Sunday? Pretty much the rest of your Sunday.
Sunday is for extra flying classes.
Okay.
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure. What day did we say we were doing flying with?
I believe you were doing Friday night or Saturday morning was going to be your Quidditch, the extra stuff with.
Yeah, but if it's
Uh,
Sunday already, then
Yeah,
just
you would have already done it
yeah.
through the week. Yeah.
Yeah, I go to extra flying.
Okay. Perfect. Give me just a straight. Let's do a straight athletics
Okay.
or acrobatics. I'll let you choose. I
That
know.
is an athletics, because my
Mhm.
acrobatics is -1.
That's what I thought.
So athletics is a natural 20 plus 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you
This is my one
find.
good thing I'm supposed to be
I
good
know
at.
this is yeah. You find that good old Madame Hooch has noticed that you are finally taking to the broom like you should be being a Weasley, and she's let you pretty much go not just in the main area, but she's allowing you to go on the Quidditch pitch for practice. Still supervised by
Yeah,
a
sure, yeah.
older bunch of students who actually have been doing this. So you're going to be pretty much doing extra flying with some of probably the Slytherin Quidditch team.
I think I just start trying to copy what the beaters are doing, just
Okay.
without like the gear, just like the movements to try and
Yep.
get them and get used to doing them on the brooms from school.
Yep. Your
Because I've
beaters
copied
are
them from like the TV, but
yeah, your beaters are the twins, Daniel and Rachel Potts.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll follow them around like a lost dog if they're on the field.
Okay, they're usually always on the field.
Yeah.
Perfect. And what's Chester doing for the rest of Sunday?
Probably Quidditch. Crunching numbers for
Okay.
this week's game.
Okay.
Crunching
All right.
predictions for the league. Doing his little rituals if Hufflepuff is playing.
Okay. We are in the first week still of. So the next game is Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff on the third week in February. So you still have roughly a month before the next match. Yep.
Yeah, he's probably sitting in the dining area and
Okay.
sees the Ravenclaw thing go up by 100 and then panics.
Okay. Definitely for sure.
Sorry,
Okay.
Chester.
Give me a quick intelligence roll then, please.
Straight intelligence is.
Yep. Let's see how well you're putting things together. 17. Damn.
17 somehow.
Nice. Yeah. So 14 plus 3. Nice.
Oh,
So,
it
yeah.
showed 7 on my screen. Nice.
Oh, that's
Take it.
okay. So, yeah, the first one, we'll take the first one when that happens. So, you are slowly putting things together, and you are pretty sure Gryffindor still hasn't been great, mainly because of Fred. He's still learning. They've pretty much put this down to a first year. Most of the Gryffindors don't have high hope in winning this year at all. So your notes are telling you Hufflepuff should have the next game.
Yeah, that's fine. I think if I recall, Hufflepuff has to beat Ravenclaw to. Otherwise, Ravenclaw's starting to pull ahead.
Yes.
If I remember the previous games properly.
Yep. So yeah, so far Ravenclaw seems to be doing pretty like on par with Slytherin, but just a little bit ahead. Mhm. And because Ravenclaw has an older, I think they have the oldest team between all of them.
Yeah, so he's already discussed some new moves and tricks with Eosh, but he'll be looking at other numbers, trying to figure out specifics that'll work against Ravenclaw and
Okay.
how they can do that.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do before we head into Monday and back into classes?
I
don't think so. I think I just organize all of my prank supplies and see, like, just because with my new stuff, I think I don't.
Yeah,
I haven't
you got
used a lot of it
no.
though.
Okay. Yeah, you got a bunch of new stuff, including a weird set of dice.
Yes, the Fates Follies dice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, come the end of Sunday, whether or not you guys made any decision yet for the Ravenclaws, I'm going to assume you probably haven't yet. Whether or not you want to talk to your friends about it, that is up to you. A couple of them would really, 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 really want this spell.
It's me.
And Alonzo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure with that and having his own house elf, he could get a lot done.
Also, it's Thursday is the extra Quidditch with Alonzo, Scorpius, and James. Just I had it written down. I just didn't
Thursdays?
see it.
Okay, couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Thursday morning or evening?
Thursday free time, so it would be Thursday.
Oh, your free time. Yes, that's right, because you all had a
before
lot of free time.
dinner. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Because we don't have
All
a
right.
Thursday night class, so.
Yep. All right. By now, you Ravenclaws would learn that word has spread throughout the school that the Ravenclaws have found something that will be extremely hard to keep in house. So come breakfast Monday morning, when you guys are all having breakfast, you all pretty much have the other three houses staring at you. Once again.
I hate this.
And like you're even having enchanted notes come over and go, like that open in front of you. Have you made a decision? Have you made a decision? Have you made a decision?
Ava just like puts her hands over her ears and closes her eyes.
Well, word has gotten out apparently.
Yeah.
Well,
Do I see
Yeah,
people
that's-
bothering Ava?
And Amelia and Clara
Probably.
and Cirrus.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty
I'll
much
go.
everyone's staring over there. I will give me a perception roll.
Perception roll. My passive is 20.
Okay, I forgot. Your passive would definitely pick up people speaking about the fact that they have found a new spell
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I don't care about
that
that.
they are
Nerds.
hoarding for themselves.
I see people bothering Ava. I'll go over, and just like, cause I'm like weirdly muscular for like an 11-year-old. And kind of like elbow muscle my way through, like definitely jabbing more than necessary until I'm like at the front and I'm like trying to shoo them away, and I'll go sit next to Ava. And I'll just start like talking like way too loudly about how great I am at Quidditch and how Madam Hooch let me room on the field, and I learned all these new movements, and I just start doing like beater movements, but like I'm definitely hitting people just to try and get them like farther away.
Yeah. That's fun. During this, you will have a quick little like tap tap tap. You're going to hear from your headmaster as he stands up. Well,
Ava,
good morning, students. Sorry, go.
I was gonna say, as Gideon is doing that and Ava catches on that she's hitting people, Ava just kind of like starts, whilst she's explaining, Ava starts pushing some pastries towards Gideon
Yeah,
as like
and then
payment.
yeah.
Absolutely.
fine.
Go on.
Okay. He's definitely going to like stand up and take a look around, and he's just going to motion for, oh, all right. I can tell word has gotten out, and he's just going to like give a little sideways glance to Professor Flitwick that the Ravenclaw riddle has finally been solved. Some of you, most of you, won't know exactly what that is, but that is okay. It's just something that it was for Ravenclaws only, and it has technically been solved by our first year students and one fourth year. So everyone give them a round of applause, please.
Nerds. As I keep eating. As I'm sitting at the Ravenclaw table.
Yeah. The details of the spell itself, I am not going to show or tell about because that is up to them. But suffice to say that at some point we will have someone from the Ministry of Magic come here and discuss what they found with them. This is a tremendous moment for Hogwarts, one that I didn't even know was here until today. So, apparently they like to keep things from me too. Also, apparently during the night, I was visited by the ghost of Helena, and she has left us. She has finally decided to move on. So, we are currently having, well, we're down to 2 house ghosts. Technically 1, because Sir Nick is still out on a sabbatical. So, if anyone wants to talk to me about that, you can. But, yes, a lot of you don't like the ghosts, but Helena has been here for quite a while. But she decided to move on last night. So,
Where does a nearly headless ghost go on sabbatical?
I don't know if Amelia has told you that he's gone. I can't remember.
Well, he just said it. That's just like Gideon just says that out loud. Not necessarily loud enough to expect an answer,
Yeah.
just like a oh.
Yeah, a couple of you guys know that he's searching for stuff for Amelia.
I don't think so. I don't remember,
No.
but
Okay. I'm pretty sure Ava knows.
Ava knows where he's gone.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
You don't know specifically, but he did tell Amelia that he was going to Salem to see what he can find.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because he's helping us with Amelia with finding
Correct.
stuff out. Yeah. I forgot.
Because it's someone he knew also.
Someone who
He
knew.
was there at the time. Yeah. So that's all I have for today. You guys have a good day. Classes are soon. Beginning of the week again. Just as a reminder, it is winter, so keep yourself warm. Then he goes back down, and Professor Flitwick's just like going through a whole bunch of notes and pretending that nothing is happening. After that revelation, you definitely have a lot more people staring at you, Ava and Amelia and the rest of the first years. And you're just
Ava,
hearing whispers of what'd she find? What'd they find? What'd they all find? What's going on? New spell? What new spell?
Ava will actually like kind of whisper to Gideon when the headmaster's done speaking, like, well, what would you do if you found a spell that a lot of people would like to know, but there's a lot of bad things that can be done with it?
Is it cool?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really learn things. I just kind of hear things. I mean, the thing is, right, is if you do it, like even if you guys are the only ones that learn it, eventually somehow someone else will learn it. It's just how things work, right? Nothing stays secret forever. Even lost things. I mean, clearly, right? So even if you keep it to like yourselves or like a select group of people, there are ways to like find stuff out, right? So it's kind of all or nothing. Either you release it, or you don't, and you guys don't even learn it, or you guys learn it and you give it to like specific people. But if you give it to just specific people, you have to assume that it'll eventually get around to everyone.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a lot of responsibility.
Information is power. I mean, that's what my mom says about journalism, right? If you're gonna release it at all, you just
I think
if
we're
you
gonna
yeah.
need to hear what the ministry says first.
I mean, I'd be surprised if they kind of just left it in the hands of a bunch of 11-year-olds and one 14-year-old.
I guess that's true.
If it can be that bad,
but then
like
we have it. What if we don't tell them what's in it? I don't know. Can they force us to tell them what's in it?
yeah, I mean, there's spells for that. There's truth serum, right? There's truth potions.
That's true.
If you have a potentially like cataclysmic spell that you just found, and that you're like, I don't know if I want to share it with, the government, and the government is like, okay, but you have to. Like, are they really going to leave something maybe that dangerous to, students?
You're also used to government regulations living where you live.
Yeah. I'm not, but you guys are.
I'm still getting
I live in the
used to
middle
it.
of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the regulations on dragons
Yeah.
is like a 100-page book itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking Ava is literally thinking like that. Like, I mean, they are learning a bunch of things about dragons that can be also used wrongly, and they're still sharing that.
I mean, loads of things can be used wrong, right?
Yeah.
Can it be used correctly to counteract the way it's being used wrong?
I don't know.
Like, does it at least balance? I'd probably still learn it because I'm sure whatever it is neat. I mean, things that are spells and stuff that are lost aren't usually lost if they're like boring. Then people know about them and they just don't use them, right?
That's true.
You're definitely going to have Clara go, "Oh, it's not boring. Oh,
It's
no.
not boring.
Oh, it is not boring. It's something you would definitely want. But
I look at
it has
Clara.
potential to be bad."
Yeah, I look at Clara and Cirrus, and I'm like, the more I think about it, the more I'm starting to think we should wait for the ministry and then probably keep it.
Well, all we really need to do is tell Professor Flitwick, I think, that we're ready to talk to someone, and he'll summon someone.
I mean, I know a bunch of people in the military or the ministry that I'm related to. I could call one of them if you wanted someone more like specific. Like if you wanted I could call my uncle's wife.
Uncle's wife. Which one? Oh, okay.
Not call Uncle Ron. He's the worst.
You have a lot of uncles.
Yeah, but you have a lot of uncles.
I'm trying to remember if any of the others are in the ministry.
Well, yeah, isn't Percy?
His wife?
Oh no, his wife is not. That's true.
No. And no
Also, I
one
would
wants
not call
Percy.
Percy. I would
Nobody
call
wants
Ron
Percy.
before I call
Before
Percy.
calling Percy, yeah, I can see that.
Calling Percy would be
At least
Gideon,
Ron is
I'm on
semi-trustworthy.
shift. Yeah. Percy would
Hmm.
say, Gideon, I'm on shift. You're in school. Go to do school. And he'd hang
Why
up
did I
on
call him? Yeah.
you.
I could call my aunt. I mean, she's super smart. Or I could call Aunt Ginny because, well, she doesn't work at the ministry, but she knows a lot of people and things and secrets.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I hate having people ask all the time. I just want this over with.
Chester, while everybody is not looking at you for once, you have pretty much you'd notice that your D&D party, they're all hanging around you a little bit more now that they're getting to know you a lot more. And at breakfast, Yosh has brought your miniature with him, of good old Tassie, and gonna he's telling you to bring out your wand, and he's go, Chester, I'm gonna show you something so you can have a little fun next time we play. It's something you'd learn in your second year anyway, but I figure we may as well teach it to you now. Might be fun. This way you can animate your own character.
There's a deer in the headlights look as he wants to say that he left his wand in the dorm, but slowly pulls it out instead.
Okay. It's a fairly easy one. It's not going to move your character per se, but this is just it's a nice easy one that's not going to blow things up, just in case. So if you want to repeat after me, do what I do, but you have to think about what you want to happen. So he's going to pull out his wand, take a look at your character, and he's going to say, Colovaria. And he's going to do like a little circle, and you're going to see like a image project from your character, and he's going to just start dancing. He's teaching you minor illusion.
Okay.
This way when we're doing battle and stuff, you can animate what you want your character to do, just so I don't have to make it up for you. I'll type it up for you too.
There's a panicked look on his face, and he readies his wand.
Give me a Arcana and a performance roll, please.
Arcana and a performance. 11 Arcana
Okay.
and 19 performance.
So,
and he takes out his wand, and probably the first thing in his head, likely incorrectly, is his little D&D character bowling across the Ravenclaw table and like knocking all of their plates and bowls and dishes out of the way. So
it's only minor illusion at least, so it looks like it does.
Yeah.
So it's not actually going to do anything.
probably wouldn't work anyways, but that's what he's thinking of.
Yep.
Do with it what you will. And he will
So the performance
shake
is
his
enough
wand
to
and
get.
say, Clovaria.
Yes. The performance is enough that you get the correct wording in the wand movement. The 11, something happens, but it's not exactly maybe what you thought was going to happen. You just basically see your character raise up with an axe and then like drop it behind him. He goes for a good swing, and Yoshi's just going to say, "Yeah, that's not bad. You could work on that a little bit more. You got most of it down properly. You got the proper pronunciation, and that's what I thought you'd have the hardest part with." But yeah, it's basically an illusion of something. You've seen me do it quite a few times. It's a fun way of making the session just more fun. You've seen me animate your character, but I think I don't think I should have you learn that one yet. Yeah. Anyway, practice. This is one that you're going to learn anyway, and it's not going to hurt anybody. But yeah, have fun with it. think of a whole bunch of
Chester
stuff you could do with it.
will likely try really hard to remember to try and do it at the next D&D session, but will likely not practice it at all between then.
He's also going to say, also during Quidditch practice, you can use this to summon throwing something at you, like hitting the if you just whatever you can think of. You'd be able to tell he's like trying to think of 100 different things at once to try and tell you what you could use this for. But it's like, yeah, if you want to have like a beater hit the ball at you and whatnot, it's just a fun way of practicing. There's lots of things you can use this for.
Chester clues in that he said he could have left his wand because he was going to Quidditch practice and they're not allowed their wands there, and gets all distracted in his own thought.
Yeah, Yoshi's pretty much Monday mornings for him. He's got a lot on the go, and he's spewing everything out right now. It's hard to keep up with him. But yeah, that roll is enough that you can learn Kolavaria, sir. That is minor illusion.
Just gonna do it one more time just because it feels
Yep.
expected.
Yeah. The performance, I don't even need another one, but okay. 15 and a 23. For some reason, yeah, you took to this spell pretty good. I don't need to make you roll for that one anymore again.
Now he'll put his wand away and not do it again until the next game.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I would assume the rest of you are too in doing other things that you don't realize Chester doing something you've never seen him do before.
Chester's always doing something no one's seen before.
This is true.
It's just Chester.
It's just Chester. Perfect. All right. Well, come after breakfast is done and everyone's finally leaving the Ravenclaws alone. Gideon, you'd be able to tell that your presence did not help at all.
I helped.
Everyone is still like grumbling, going, "What they
That
learn?
depends
I want to
who
learn."
you ask, and I say
Yeah.
it helped.
Yeah, and a lot of the Slytherins are going, "I wonder if we can steal
Yeah, sure.
it." And most of the Gryffindors are just like muttering to themselves, "It's like, why couldn't it have been us? Sure, Nick doesn't do anything for us anymore." Stuff like that. So, come class, Ravenclaws, you have herbology, flying, and charms today. Hufflepuffs are transfiguration, flying, history, magic, and herbology. Slytherins are herbology, defense against dark arts, herbology, and history of magic. Now, we are doing a history of magic today with the Slytherins and the Hufflepuffs. The Ravenclaws, you will learn the same thing through the week. Since we're not doing another class this week, I'm just going to say that you're all there. So you're all pretty much going to be learning the same thing today. So is there anything else you guys want to do before first class? Or your only class, I should say. Would you guys have told Gideon along the way what the spell was?
I don't
I
ask.
don't think
No.
so. I wouldn't.
I do just ask, is it safe though? Like, you don't have it on you, right? Or maybe that's safer. Do you have... Don't tell me where
Professor
it is. You could tell me where it is. But...
took it.
I
Is
don't
it
know
safe?
where is it. Where did we keep it?
I'm pretty sure Flitwick would have taken it from you.
Oh,
I would
okay.
hope so because
he had it
students are
on
kind of
him.
sneaky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would hope so. Yes.
Yeah, so it is with Flitwick.
Okay.
Okay. The teacher has it. Yeah.
Okay. That's probably safer.
No one steals from your
Yeah,
charge,
did you
Professor.
see everybody storm us?
Yeah. I helped.
You
Not
did,
the
thank
storm.
you.
Anyways.
But I think we might need to ask Professor Flitwick to get, now that Helen is gone, which kind of defeats why we were hesitating, at least for a way, in a way. I think we should ask for someone for the ministry.
Or is she just hiding from us right now?
While you were feeding, the
headmaster
headmaster said that
was
she did
gone.
leave. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know. So if she's gone, At least we should talk to someone from the ministry, because I don't know.
Hey, speaking of, where is Nearly Headless Nick? Like, how does a ghost take a sabbatical? Can they leave the school grounds? Are they not stuck here? Is that not how ghosts work?
I think they can leave.
Like, why would you stay at the school?
Because there's a lot happening all the time. It's good entertainment, probably.
There's so many children.
I mean, you saw how he likes to just like kind of head bop and then go boop.
Yeah, I like that. That is fun.
I don't know if that's a real thing, but I just
But to
added
stick around
it.
for
Now it's
200
canon.
years to do that, I don't know.
You know, he probably enjoys freaking out the kids, especially the first years. I know I would.
There's that. But isn't he helping you, Amelia?
He is, and I think he was able to leave to do whatever it was he was doing. I don't remember now.
He's heading to Salem to look into things for you.
That's right. Wait, I thought ghosts couldn't go over water. Is there a ghost ship? Is that why we have ghost ships?
Yeah. If he
also,
knows,
I'm happy I found my binder.
Nice.
He said he could get there, so he'll figure it out. Just didn't have a timeline.
If they can pass through objects, right, and they can't get hurt, right? So even if they can't, like, go through water, which I don't know, but like, couldn't they just like go down like into the ground and just like walk through the sand under the water? Like, they don't need to breathe. They if they had to.
But that would take so long when you think how deep the ocean is.
Yeah, but they're not aging. They're not doing, like, what do they care how long it takes? They're dead. What else are they doing? Maybe that's the sabbatical.
Maybe?
Sad.
So many questions.
I just theorize on this for the rest of the walk. Yeah.
You're gonna hear Clara pipe up behind you. Maybe he boarded a Muggle plane.
Okay,
that
so
would
why
be
don't
absolutely hilarious.
Can they like control when they're phasing through stuff?
I think so. They're ghosts.
Yeah, because otherwise, wouldn't he just like fall through the plane or something?
He goes through everything here at school, so I don't know how it works.
But if you're on a plane that goes over water, you're still going over the water. How would that be different than being on a boat that's going over the water? You're still going over the water.
Magic.
Maybe it's
I
charmed?
don't know.
Don't get it.
I don't get it either. But hey, as long as he says he can get there, that's the only thing that matters.
I'm gonna research this later. I write in my little detective's notebook to research how ghosts and what their relation with water is, because now I'm confused.
Nice. Ava, along the way, you are being passed a tiny little box from Scorpius. Like, he shoves it in your hands and then ignores you, and then walks away.
What? Hi?
Hi.
Did he look angry? Did he look sad?
Nope.
What? Just neutral.
Nope. Neutral.
How long do I have before class? I definitely.
Ava, is he mad at me, Harper? That is your full name.
Yeah.
This would be along the way, so you'd probably have, like, between your 10-minute walk to class, you'd have plenty of time to open it and figure out what it is.
I kind of go into the closest girls' bathroom to, like, open it in secret, because I'm not sure what this is.
Oh, we're going to the bathroom. Okay, I guess we're going to the bathroom.
I'll be right back.
I just instinctively start following Ava because I don't really care about class, so I'm just like, then we're going this way. Oh, you're going. Okay, never mind.
It is a sealed, nondescript box.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice that the Malfoy signet ring is on the seal.
There's a little hope that starts sparking in her. But yeah, she very once she's in a stall, she starts like opening it, not really being careful about it. She just wants to see what's inside.
Inside of it is a business card from the Serpent's Drop. It's just a straight standard business card with Draco's name on it.
Mm-hmm.
On the back of the card, he's inscribed, should have been a Slytherin.
She gets like really happy.
Give me a quick Arcana roll, please.
I will happily do that. I will use my D4 if it rolls poorly as well. Like it did, I knew it. So, Arcana, did you say?
Yep.
So that would be 15. Yeah.
Okay. There's definitely still something magical about it. There's
Right.
that hint of shine of something hidden within.
Do we already? I don't remember. Do we already know any spells that could?
Nope. Only
No.
one of you do.
Do I? Oh, yeah, I don't
And
know.
Chester
they do.
has not told you about it.
No. Wait, didn't we? Yeah, we've learned Specialist Revelio though, right?
You haven't learned to spell magic yet.
No, not the spell. This is to reveal, right? Specialist Revelio is like detect magic, isn't it?
I don't know
haven't
I
if
read
don't
spell
have
list.
it.
I don't have it marked off.
I don't either. But
I have,
maybe
No,
you
identify. Is it identify? It's identify. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
it's identify that I have.
Maybe you learned it from Mom then.
Possibly. Can I
Yeah.
try to do it? I'll try. Oh, but it takes 10 minutes. Oof.
Yeah.
Will I be late for class? Would she? Priorities for Ava. Let's find out.
So
I
this
rolled
would
a
be
D100.
technically.
It was 50. I love that.
Okay. Yeah, technically the Slytherins and the Ravenclaws have herbology first, so this would towards that. Yeah.
I think she would rather be late once and find out what this is.
Okay. The identify spell doesn't come back with anything.
Great. Love it.
You'd be able to tell that there's something on it that you're going to have to bypass in order to figure out what it is.
Okay. So she runs to class afterwards.
Okay.
I assume if Gideon did follow her, like Gideon is fully aware they're late.
No, I didn't, because you had said, I'm just gonna go in here for a minute, and then, okay, and then I had.
Okay.
Yep.
Although I think I had waited for you until. What? No, I like herbology. I would have waited until like the last second, and then I would have run to. Because I actually like this class. If it was like any of the other
I was
classes,
going to say, I love how it matters what class
you would have heard me knock on the door and say, "You're gonna be late," before I run off.
Yeah, you would definitely see that she has a happy glow about her after she comes back from washroom. Cool. All right. So we will move on to good old history magic class throughout the day. It's definitely after lunch, but we'll do this first, and you guys can do whatever you want to do for the rest of the afternoon. So when you guys get to good old history magic class, Professor Aberforth Dumbledore sits you all down and tells you to open up. Actually, this is a different book. This isn't in your book. On the board, it is written, "What do you know about goblins? Are they friends, foes, or something in between?" Professor Dumbledore is going to let you know that he's going to look right at Chester and go, "I've heard of some good things that have been taught over the weekend, and I figured I would embellish on it. So today you're going to learn about the Goblin Rebellion, 1612. So, By the end of this lesson, you should understand the causes and consequences of the Goblin Rebellion of 1612, recognize major figures involved in the conflict, discuss the Wizarding World's treatment of non-human magical beings, identify key locations and legislation influenced by the rebellion. So, he's going to open up a book that you guys haven't seen before. This is a concise history of the Goblin Rebellion. Excerpts from Unrest and Uprising, The Non-Human Conflicts of the Magicking World by Vindictus Viridian, 5th edition. For centuries, goblins have been renowned for their intelligence, craftsmanship, and meticulous stewardship of treasure and magical artifacts. Yet, in the eyes of the Wizarding World, they were never afforded equal rights. The seeds of rebellion were long sown, long before 1612. Goblins were forbidden from using or owning wands, or under the Wand Use Restriction Act, denied representation in the Wisegamot, I can never say that word, and often exploited for their talents by wealthy pure-blood families and Gringotts contracts heavily favoring wizards. Most wizards saw goblins as second-class magical beings, capable, yes, but untrustworthy. This prejudice fueled centuries of resentment, which reached a boiling point at the turn of the 17th century. Now, the rebellion officially began in 1612 when Urgit the Ugly, a radical goblin leader, seized the 3 broomsticks in Hogsmeade, then a small coaching tavern. The choice was symbolic. The inn lay in the shadow of Hogwarts, a central center of magical power and tradition. Allied with lesser-known goblin revolutions, such as Bodrod the Bearded, famed for his enchanted blade forged without a wand, Berg the Unclean, the fan favorite, who led brutal raids in Cornwall, and Yurgak the Guilt, a goblin financier who funded the insurrection. The rebellion rapidly escalated across the British Isles. He's going to go in detail about a few of the key battles and events.
I think I was already like nodding off
Nodding off by now.
immediately, and then whenever Ava comes in late, I like jerk awake and I'm like,
You're not the only one.
it's whatever the
you
class is, it's fine.
You also were in this with the Hufflepuffs, not the Ravenclaws.
Yeah, I just fall asleep.
Yes.
Then.
I
This
know,
is boring.
that's fine.
I don't care.
Yeah. At some point, you're going to have like Fox come over and just peck you a couple times to wake you up. Because you do have a, yes.
Try to pet it.
Fox is here.
He let me pet him.
You've pet Fox before. He is okay with it.
Yay. Now I pay attention. I just need like a fidget toy or a pet, and then I'm good.
You'd be able to tell that Aberforth lets Fox pretty much do whatever he wants. He doesn't just sit. It's like he's got free reign. Yeah.
You don't control the Phoenix, sir.
No, you do not. That's the one thing I haven't asked before. What's everybody's feelings on a Phoenix, like especially Chester? This is a completely like for you, like a magical like creature you never really would have thought of before seeing in person.
It's a nice parent.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's pheasants in Australia, but yeah.
You probably would have seen them turn into an egg probably a few times by now. I think it happens like every few months.
I think I was there for that once when it happened in the office. Yeah. But he's blocked that memory. It's just a fun parent.
Excellent. Love it. Right. So the Siege of Gringotts, autumn 1612, rebel goblins attempted to take full control of the Bake, holding upper vaults and severing connections to wizarding vaults. The rebellion nearly succeeded before the ministry intervened. Mysterious disappearances of high-ranking ministry aurors in the tunnels below Gringotts remain unsolved. Then there was the Battle of Wardy Hollow, the bloodiest battle of the rebellion. Dozens of wizarding families were caught in the crossfire, and it was the first recorded use of goblin-forged incendiary charms. Rumors persist of a cursed battlefield where echoes of goblin war drums can still be heard. The ministry.
Chester raises his hand.
Yes, Chester.
I don't know if I'm supposed to learn this. That might be a later session.
Um. Oh, right. I think I know what you're talking about. This actually would have happened before, not after. This is in 1612. I know what you're talking about with, I believe, Yosh. Bert's got around about his lovely little side game. But that yours, I think, is you'll get to it. Trust me. This isn't a spoiler.
Okay.
Actually, part of this will be a spoiler because the Ministry did, in fact, use dragons to help repel this
Dragons?
particular one. Ah, she's awake. Good. Yes. If you go into your history vaults at home, Gideon, you will learn that dragons were employed during this time to help quell part of the Goblin Rebellion.
I'm so sorry. I don't know if employed is the right word.
Oh, asked.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, then we had the massacre at Wavern Dow. Failed parley between Goblin elders and Ministry negotiators led to betrayal, resulting in the deaths of over 40 Goblin delegates. To this day, Goblin historians refer to it as the Silence Pact, and it is marked by a yearly mourning vigil in Goblin enclaves. Now, the first rebellion was officially crushed in January 1613, although isolated skirmishes continued for months. Many Goblin leaders were executed, imprisoned in Azkaban, or disappeared under suspicious circumstances. Some of them, to this day, are still imprisoned in Azkaban. Despite the failure, the rebellion forced the Ministry to reassess its treatment of non-human magical beings. The Commission on Magical Creature Rights were briefly established and then quickly disbanded. Goblins were offered expanded but still heavily limited control over Great Goths. And the sword of Bodrod the Bearded, once thought lost, was recovered and now resides in a Ministry vault, though Goblin scholars claim it was stolen and cursed. And I happen to have a replica of it. Yes.
It's why why is him being bearded important? Like, isn't like someone's supposed to be something they did or like something impressive about them? But like, can they not grow beards normally? Is this like he was the only goblin with a beard or something? Like, why is it the bearded? Why is that like his thing? Like, he has his whole sword, but he's the bearded. Okay.
I believe it went down to his knees. So you would see that first.
That feels like
that
okay.
Takes some
that feels like a lot.
right
Yeah.
there.
All right. Okay. That feels like a lot. Okay. Wait. But it's a goblin. Aren't they small? Aren't they like really short?
Yes, but this one, like goblins back in those days, well, the ones that fought a lot, they wore armor and they were like quite muscular for their size. And well, here's a picture of him. I don't have a picture of him, but he's pretty much he is almost 4 feet. So he's like a big burly goblin. He could probably bench press you easily with his muscles. And his beard is pretty much 90% of his body. Yeah, I know. Well, Gideon's what, 5 feet close?
I
can't remember how tall you are.
I'm short. I think maybe 5. I don't remember. No, because we couldn't be 5 feet, right?
Not yet. Yeah.
Except
just
Alonzo.
I mean, technically, we're all pretty short, except for Alonzo.
4'5". I'm 4'5". That's what
but he was like at the time 200 years old already, and you're only 11. So you didn't get a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah. He is going to pull out of a desk, though, a replica of the sword of Bodrod the Bearded. And I'm going to put that in roll 20 for you.
It's just a little guy.
Well, it's still technically a sword, maybe a letter opener for Hagrid.
Toothpick.
But this one is like it's looks like it could be the real thing. Whoever created this must have at least known what the actual real one looked like. This is a complete replica, and he's going to pass it around for people and just say, "Be careful, it is still sharp, though."
Swing, swing, swing. I immediately start swinging it.
Yeah, get in, look at it, look. Yes. You would also notice that there's a whole bunch of runes on it. I will take standard history rolls, please.
Shouldn't there be a
Nope.
goblin here telling their side of the story? Isn't that
You are
how
one
we...
step ahead of me there, sister. There will be, eventually.
what am I rolling? Sorry.
History roll, please.
I'm still swinging it. I don't see shit.
So this is basically Muggle studies, or like magic theory, but standard history.
Well, I have my Hogwarts history and my Muggle studies, so they're different.
Yeah, it's still an intelligence roll anyway.
Apparently, I know this somehow.
Perfect.
Chester's rolling baller today.
He is. Maybe it's because of your D&D sessions. Maybe Yosh has spoken about it to you, but the runes are the goblin language, gobbledygook.
Ridiculous.
I know it's ridiculous. It should just be goblin. Anyway, two wizards, the rebellion is a tale of lawlessness and danger. To goblins, it is a tale of betrayal, courage, and the cost of demanding equality. It remains a sensitive subject, rarely taught in full at Hogwarts, and is almost always a wizard-centric viewpoint, as you say there, Chester. You would have to talk to a goblin. Professor Flitwick is part goblin, but it's a subject that is very touchy to him. But anyway, it did resurface again in 1752 with the Battle of Autumn Hollow. It took place during the height of the Second Goblin Rebellion in 1762, when a time when the Goblin forces, tired of systematic, can't pronounce that word.
Systemic,
thank you.
Yeah.
Oppression and exclusion from wand use. I typed it, but you think I can pronounce it? No. Rose up once again from the wizarding world. Autumn Hollow, once a sleepy wizarding village nestled in the Vale of Avelmere, became a site of a key turning point in the rebellion. The battle itself was deadly, and without the efforts of Hespatatus Gore, the new Minister of Magic, Autumn Hollow and all those involved would have perished. Basically, my peoples, that while the goblins' methods were questionable, their grievances were not entirely unfounded. History is not black and white, but a murky shade of magical red. So, I would like you all to split up into two groups. One pro-wand rights and one anti-wand rights. And I would like you to have a lovely debate about who you think is correct.
specifically in regard to goblins.
Yes, do you think
Okay.
goblins should have the right to use wands like wizards? What are your thoughts on it?
Chester will nervously join the Wandsboro group.
Does anyone want to join a specific group?
I'm trying to figure out. So, can the goblins? Do they do magic Was this so that they could become wizards as well? Or do they have their own magic?
They have their own magic.
Yeah.
Wands would allow them access to um a wand is like a focus. It'll help you channel
Right,
your
right.
magic so it doesn't, yeah. Like there's all types, like the really only the
They're
British, the UK are the only ones who really use wands.
Yeah.
Not everybody uses wands, but
In
it's the
their magic
in
isn't like house elf level magic though. It's more
no,
like enchantments and
yeah,
in
it's
getting the
limited.
wands, were they then required to do the schooling for it?
That's what they wanted. They wanted to be pretty much like everybody else.
Okay, that's my question. Yeah, I'll go
Yeah,
with
they just
Chester.
they were not allowed it. That's what ticked
Yeah.
them off. The fact that they weren't even allowed to learn because goblins were considered like untrustworthy and would all turn dark.
Yeah, I'll go with I go with Chester.
Okay.
Well, not with
How about Ava and
Chester, but
Amelia? Which side would you guys go? You're technically not here with them. You'd be with the Gryffindors, but you're still learning this through the week. Yes. Hmm. Okay. I did. Yep. Yes, yes,
what group would their favorite person have joined? That's more the question.
yes.
If they're
Well,
with
definitely.
Gryffindor.
No. She would definitely be Auntie, for sure.
yeah, because she sucks.
Oh yeah. Pretty much I would think most like the history of most of the Gryffindors, most of them would definitely be Auntie, just because how they grew up. Rose would be probably the only one that might go pro wand, considering her mother. Um, so over the course, you guys have a good round between everybody going back and forth. Is there anything specific you guys think you would want to discuss about it? Like, what would your supporting argument or questions would be?
I think if everyone has to go through the same schooling and, learn to use it the same way, they're going to have just as much probability of turning good or bad as anyone else does with that kind of power. They just had more to start with. That's not their fault. If
Yeah,
I
the
had
others.
more power to start with, I would totally like that, but I'm not saying that would make you go evil automatically. That's like saying all the Slytherins are going to go evil automatically, which historically they've said and hasn't been true because there's been dark wizards from every single school, I think. I'm not a nerd, I don't know.
It's
But I'm
technically
That's
pretty
true.
sure.
Sorry, frog
You're
in my
good.
throat.
Yep. Does anyone else want to add anything in here? Like, what's your guys' thoughts on it?
I mean, I don't know. I think I would probably agree with what Gideon said and add that preventing them from trying to use it altogether is actually counterproductive. It's only gonna lead to them searching for other methods which could veer them even more towards
Yeah.
the dark arts in a way. So and I think Ava would also ask if this was like localized because there are other places where you don't use wand magic. There are other schools that don't. So was this just a problem that happened like in Europe, or did it also occur elsewhere?
Yeah, did it
In
happen in the US and they wanted to use magic but not with
France.
wands, but they still weren't allowed to be taught it? In which case, same thing applies, right? They should still have the option to go and learn, but then they're under the same rules as everyone else on what they can and can't use it for and how to use
Yeah.
it. As long as everyone's agreeing to use it the same way, whether they turn evil or not after having learned it is, that's probably not related to learning the magic itself. That was probably already going to happen. Giving them
Yeah.
the means is just, they would have found it another way anyways.
And it would
Gabe has
definitely
said.
prevent further, future issues, because the more you forbid something, the more it's gonna kind of there will be more uproar about it.
Yeah.
Brandon doesn't really know if it was just
Localized.
UK,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure I don't remember reading or finding anything out other like about goblins anywhere else other than like UK.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing them anywhere else, so I think
It's
it's probably because they're localized
they're
and don't
localized,
spread out.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because that would explain, right? Because if there are places where you don't need it, like where you learn to use it
yeah,
without wands, that wouldn't even be an issue. So
yeah,
They were
that was like
native to
this.
Europe originally.
There you go.
yeah.
So they're
That's the
probably
only thing I could find. Like
yeah,
by now they might have spread out, but
Spread
Yeah,
out.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
It looks
there's
like some of them have gone to North America,
yeah,
but it's
there's
almost
no new lore.
exclusively European.
Yeah. So that's probably why they're still like considered like middle class and a non-metro. Like they're not human. So like everyone knows like the wizarding rules at the ministry have needed an update for quite a few hundred years, which does take time. Apparently, they are quite old-fashioned.
Which is
Um,
probably what Hermione's been working on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So bringing that into the play here. After the debate is over, Professor Dumbledore just like gives a good round of applause and goes, like we said, it's one of those things that it could go either way. And then, well, speaking of things that other people that have thought of things like this, he's going to reach into a desk and toss a few badges out that say spew on them. Gideon's aunt tried something similar like this, and I think if you would like to learn a little bit more, maybe you should research these. Might open your thoughts up to other things other than just goblins.
Oh yeah,
Do you
she like
know?
really accepts assists with helping house elves and stuff too.
Well, everyone's just kind of looking at you and go, "I've never seen this or never heard of this." And a couple of people said, "Yeah, I've heard of this before." Would you like to tell them what it
Great
means, or would you know?
acronym.
Mm-hmm.
I I've heard it enough.
Yep.
Uh, it's the Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare. But I feel like a new acronym could be workshopped. I don't think SPEW is that good, but it's fine.
I believe your Uncle Ron came up with the acronym, so you can blame him. Like you
I
blame.
do. I really
Yes.
do. Yeah. Okay. But the intention was really good because it was for I think if I remember, I don't know, she was worried about the house elves here and if they were being paid and stuff, which I think they are now,
They are now,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they can have like vacations and things.
All the house elves here are free to come and go. Most of
Yeah.
them don't want to go.
Yeah, I think they got the choice. They can choose if they want to leave or stay, and a lot of them I think stayed probably because they've been doing it for so long, and now they're
Yeah,
getting paid
it's
and
also
stuff. So
it's also ingrained in their tradition, history, and just social behavior. Yep. They want to be owned, which
I
is
know the ones in the
still
kitchen
strange.
take tips. You can tip them
I
for
saw that.
things.
Yes.
Yes.
That has gotten back to the house elf I have employed at my inn. So, yes. Well, good class, everyone. Oh, by the way, um, if you'd like to learn more, the horn that was used by Claudrad the Bearded is actually here at Hogwarts. It is in a cabinet in the bell tower entrance hall, if anyone ever wants to go look at it. It's one of the few things that we kept from the Goblin Revolution.
Uh-huh.
So yes. Anyway, good talk today, class. That was quite good.
So for Belvedere, is that the horn that
Yep.
summoned all the werewolves?
That is the horn that summoned all the werewolves, sir.
Interesting.
Hmm. Oddly enough, lore, it is here at Hogwarts.
Of course it is.
Yep.
Because what is a safer place for strange and potentially
Right.
dangerous magical items than around a bunch
Right.
of children?
Yep. So this is a great place to go for a break, and I do see we have a random prank goes right, so that's going to be fun.
That is going to be fun.
Whether or not I do it or you guys do it, I will let you guys
I
decide that.
did want to check out my new rodent rocket.
So I guess there's your answer.
Perfect. So we're going to go for 10 minutes, and then we will come back and figure out what to do the rest of the day.
See everyone in a minute then.
Good goblin talk. Huzzah! We are back. We took a little bit of an extended break because we needed to yap at each other.
Yeah,
We covered a
sorry.
lot. Don't worry. We
We
covered
covered
the
nothing.
important parts. No, we didn't.
No
No.
important. To be fair, we
But
only
it
took
needed to
like
be
an extra
said.
10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. So, yeah, you guys all leave good old history of magic class. You were told about, well, another fun topic, with the regulation of house elves, and you learned that the horn of Bodrod the Bearded is at Hogwarts in the good old, well, another section, the bell towers, the North Hall, bell tower wing of Hogwarts. Yep.
Hey,
You guys
Ava.
know that's where your training grounds are. The gallery is in the North Hall, and it heads towards the Owl Corridor.
Yeah, as we're just kind of like walking around. Hey, Ava. I was just thinking. What languages do you know?
I know that is a good question. I know Portuguese, I know Spanish. So I can also understand like a little bit of Italian and French.
Is
I
there
know
like
English,
is
but
there like a
English,
really big magical community in like Spain or Portugal?
See, I don't know much about it because I know in Portugal there's at least their own version of the Ministry of Magic because my dad's an ambassador.
Ah,
But I don't actually know like how they work or anything. Like I hadn't really been told a lot about it beforehand.
do they have their own school down there?
I don't think so. I'm not
Where
sure.
are the
Maybe.
schools? There's the one here. There's the one in the U.S. And then there's what,
I know
like
there's one in
Durmstrang?
Brazil. I know there's Durmstrang and there's what's the French one?
Oh, with the blue. Oh wait, I know this one. Saint is drawing a blank, but Gideon's sister-in-law went there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Uh,
I forgot the
where
name.
did Fleur go? I don't remember.
DM assistants.
Something.
Sorry, say that again.
Academy?
What's the French school?
Oh, Beauxbatons.
Bobans.
Bobans.
I
Yeah.
couldn't remember, but Gideon would know because her sister-in-law went there.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I know that.
Or no, not sister-in-law. Aunt.
Aunt-in-law.
Went.
Yeah.
Aunt-in-law?
Aunt.
Yeah.
Aunt.
Aunt. Yeah, aunt. Yeah.
But I know
Fleur?
that like
Boban. Yeah.
I know
Bobans.
there's one in Brazil that speaks Portuguese, so I'd probably want to do like a time there.
So in
Castelo
Brazil they
Bruxo.
speak Portuguese.
And
Yeah.
that's where you know that Draco was coming from,
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
Brazilian school.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
yes.
was thinking maybe
There's
it
a
would
lot
be
of countries that
smart
speak Portuguese, actually.
to know like the
Castelo
languages that
Bruxo.
some of the other schools know. For like
Right.
exchanges and like if I'm gonna be doing like maybe journalist stuff, it would be good to know like other other languages and stuff.
Well, didn't you grow up in Romania?
Yeah.
Do you
I know
speak Romanian?
Mhm.
So Romanian is actually a Latin language like Portuguese and Spanish. So technically, there's quite a bit of it in common. It's not going to be so hard for you to learn Portuguese and
No.
Spanish.
So maybe we could do like a tradesies. Maybe you could teach me some Portuguese and I could teach you some Romanian.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. We can
We
do
could
that.
have like a little club exchange, maybe.
Ooh, that would
I
be
just
cool.
think it could be useful. I didn't know
Absolutely.
Goblin, but I'm not that worried about.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Well, I don't know.
I could talk to gnomes.
Yeah, but I think.
Okay.
Wait, how do you talk to gnomes?
There were a lot at the sanctuary, and I understand them. They're really mean, but they're kind of funny sometimes.
Oh, that's a pretty neat skill. I would think you would actually would want to go to Castelo Bruxo because they have like a lot
Gesundheit?
of the Brazilian school
Oh, right. Yeah, I knew
because
that.
they have a lot of like magical creature stuff, conservation stuff. I think.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So yeah, speaking Portuguese, I know they speak with a different, like they speak in a bit of a different way, but the language is the same. You'll be able to understand them.
Yeah, it's not so much the speaking it, it's more the understanding it that I think might be useful for me.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought maybe it could be fun.
Gideon, you would know that Uncle Bill eventually did an exchange program there after he's done Hogwarts.
In Brazil?
Costello Brochure.
I don't recall that information. There's
That's okay.
no chance.
That's fine.
So this is after class, right?
Yeah.
Right now. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. So yeah, when do you think like over the weekends we could meet up and
Yeah, I mean, my Saturdays are mostly free. I just kind of help out with the pets, the animals and stuff. But yeah, what do your Saturdays look like? What do you do?
Ooh, I think on Saturdays I have a couple of clubs, but I think I'm mostly free on Sundays.
I have extra flying classes, but besides that, yeah, because that's not all day. We could do
Yeah.
Sundays.
Yeah, we can do like in the evening. Just before
Okay,
dinner for a couple of hours maybe.
a couple hours. That seems like
1
a lot.
hour. She
Okay.
reduces it. Okay. Alright, deal.
Deal.
What's
You
Chester
gotta
doing after his
shake.
classes?
You gotta shake to make.
Sorry.
You gotta do the. You gotta.
Okay.
So after your lovely history magic class, the rest of the day is yours, Chester. What would you like to do, sir? So you're following your friends around, or what's your plan?
He will go and look for the horn. I'm
Okay.
sure he'll get lost, and that'll take a long time.
Okay. Eventually, you know where the bell tower is. It's a place where most people you come and go across there quite a bit.
It's the bell
So
tower,
you
right?
would,
Not the changing staircase.
yeah, this is the bell tower. This is taken from good old Hogwarts
Hogwarts
Legacy.
Miss. Yeah.
It's the easiest way for me to get pictures. Eventually, I'm going to map out the entire thing and switch most of ours to the 3D version. That'll take some time.
Ooh.
So you eventually find yourself, yeah, because I like the 3D. There's a bunch of fun stuff from the game that I'll work into here just for visual effects for the most part, because I am terrible at describing shit. Eventually, you find yourself in front of this place. What would you like to do?
He would just sit and stare at the horn for a bit.
Okay. It's in a cabin. Cabinet. It does look like it is like not locked, but it's definitely covered in dust, and it looks like you might be the first in a while to remember it's just hanging there. It's an ancient blackened iron and bone war wrapped in aged leather, and its rim is etched in goblin runes.
Would it be like a cattle bone or something that he would recognize?
Kind of, yeah, like think like an ox horn.
Yep. And
But this
eventually
one's
his eyes would
definitely
wander. What else is near it?
okay. Give me a investigation or arcana or whatever you think you would roll to take a look.
Yeah, it would be investigation just to see if anything else is
Sure.
within.
Okay.
Ooh, +5. Ooh, there's the bad rolls. Should be taking a break.
There's the bad roll. It's a horn. It's got You would notice that some of the runes on it are the goblin language. Like you might be able to. It's definitely a language that you've heard Yosh speak before. And Professor Flitwick, when he gets angry, he starts to swear and talk in Goblin.
Yeah. Well, I doubt he would associate any of that, but
Okay.
he would just look at them more like
Mhm.
designs or runes or
Yeah,
hieroglyphs
they
or something.
definitely. It is some sort of language and something written on there. Yes,
Okay.
on the back part of the cabinet, pretty much is like almost like the. It's like a small tapestry of a picture of Bodrog, the bearded, with the horn during the Goblin Revolution. Just he'd be blowing it, and on the picture itself, it looks like it's glowing a little. The horn when he blows it.
He'll like take the sleeve and kind of brush the tapestry off a little bit so he can see if there's any resemblance to any of the guys that Yash had in the game or anything.
Okay, I'll take another investigation as you start to clean it a little. It looks like the horn can be removed. It doesn't look like there's any sort of 22. Yeah, it looks like just a horn that hasn't been enchanted or anything. It looks like you could pick it up and play with it.
Well,
You
the
don't really see
tapestry to
anything.
see nobody
The
recognizes. Okay.
tapestry itself, nothing major about it. It's just more depiction of him blowing the horn and the horn glowing a little. It's not one of those like moving pictures or anything. That's just all you can see. But it is
Yeah,
quite
he'll
old.
pull it out, dust it off, polish it off, take like the stand, wipe under the
Mhm.
stand, kind of
Yeah.
clean up the glass and everything. Uh, definitely, definitely thinks of blowing on it, just
Mhm.
to prove that it doesn't work.
Okay.
But he's also slightly scared of Teddy, so he won't risk it. He'll put it back in eventually and close it. And yeah, if there's nothing else in the hall or nothing else around, if he heard any movement, he'd probably close up everything more quickly.
Okay.
But
Nope. Cleaning it off, you do have like the inscription there if you wanted to copy it or anything like that. That's about it. But because it's in
no,
Goblin, you would need to get it like um someone would have to actually come here and tell you what it says.
no, it's more like just something fancy he'd see at a
Okay.
museum. I don't think he'd really think anything about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just looking for
That's a piece of history.
pieces he learned. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely
How they
wants
have it
to.
here. It doesn't. There's nothing saying how and why it's here. Nope.
Well, there's that kind of blurred line now where he wants to blow it and be like, "See," but he's willfully in denial rather than just completely in denial. I think.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Do you think you would know any of the runes from Yosh? Do you think you would know, like, maybe he's shown you something or probably not?
unless it was in the book or the history lesson today, I don't even think he'd really know that they were goblin runes. Just
Okay.
some sort of fancy
It would look the
artifact.
same. It would look
Yeah.
the same script that was on the sword. So you would definitely have seen some of these letterings on the sword too.
Assuming he was sitting near Gideon, he probably didn't really get to see the sword, and nor was it sitting still long enough for him to read it. Yeah.
Okay, everybody would have been able to hold on to it. Gideon just would have held on to it longer.
Yeah. I'm sure either it never got let go of or he like grabbed it and then yoink right out of his hand.
Okay, perfect. And we'll save all that for later. Cool. Anything else you want to do after class for the rest of the day or week? Because that's really all I had planned for the week for you.
Yes.
Oh
I
yeah.
think so.
Well, just yeah, I know you guys, of course. Chester's a
No,
little
actually,
different.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, we
actually,
have to do our prank.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know you
good.
guys gotta do your prank, but I meant Chester, because you still have, you're at some point gonna show Yosh the 2 vials that you have. Or do you think Chester's ready to do that?
No,
Okay.
no. I think Yash teaching him a spell scared him off.
Okay, beautiful. All right. Okay. We will start off with Gideon and your lovely little new shiny pet project with your what is that thing that you have? The rocket rodent. It's technically a pet because it is a rodent with a rocket on it.
Yeah, I've already written a strongly worded letter. It's fine.
Okay.
But I'm still gonna do. I'm just gonna kind of like whisper to it and just be like, "Are you good? Do you want to do this prank?" Like,
You'd be able to tell like it wants to run and it kind of like gives you the sideways glance and
okay, cool.
it's like hovering like he's on like 200 milligrams of caffeine right now.
It's like a wind up toy that's like, zzz.
Yeah. Buzzing to go. Like until you pick it up, it's not mobile. It's
Yeah.
just sitting there. As soon as you pick it up, it's like, what am I doing? Where am I doing?
Now, how exactly do these work? Because I haven't used one yet. Do I just
Nope.
tell it who I want it to go towards, or do I have to like be nearby? Like, how does it?
Well, we're gonna say that it's probably got like a 6-second charge.
Okay.
Yeah. But it'll go like probably 100 yards in that 6 seconds. It'll go pretty quick.
Okay. So this is something to do
Yeah, this is fun. Like it says, it's
at
great
like
for parties,
at
not
like
great
lunch
for
or something.
people who
Yeah.
fear small, fast-moving creatures. Yeah.
And is it just like a loud bang? What is it again?
The note says it's pretty much it'll spectacularly do a popping into a mini firework display, scaring everyone who's near it.
Yeah. I think I'll set it off at dinner that night.
Okay.
But I think I'm trying to figure out what the least suspicious way to do this is. Either setting him off and then entering the room,
Okay.
or just like waiting until partway through dinner and having him do like a couple loops so it's hard to figure out where he came from.
Okay.
Trying to figure out what gives me the best plausible deniability as an 11-year-old.
Yes. I just did a couple fun rolls. With your passive perception, you would notice you're not the only one who has kind of the same similar thought as you right now.
Yeah.
Because you're not the only Weasley that got some of them. And you see Rose and Fred conspiring in the corner with theirs out also.
Yeah. I will send a little message to Rose because I do have that cantrip.
You do.
I do.
You do.
And just be
Good old
like,
mom.
heads up, I'm gonna
What?
be sending something to our least favorite. What is she, a Gryffindor?
Polly? Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a Gryffindor.
Our least favorite Gryffindor. Stay out of the way. Or don't.
Get in? How did you learn? I don't know that one.
That seems
Only
like
if
a
you teach
you
it to me.
problem. Then don't get out of the way. I don't care.
Mm.
Just cut it off.
You see her kind of look around and go, and she just starts whispering to Fred. And Fred just kind of shrugs and just sets his off anyway, doesn't care.
Yeah.
His are currently headed towards the Ravenclaws.
Yeah, if people are setting theirs off, if I see Fred and Rose set theirs off, I'll send mine
Yeah.
towards
Okay.
Polly Pocket.
Yeah. Theirs are being sent off towards the first year Ravenclaw students at dinner.
Oh no.
So at some point, you guys all have about 5 or 6 little bangs, whizzes, and a whole bunch of fireworks appear underneath you,
Yeah.
spooking everybody, and one apparently goes off into the Gryffindor area.
Can I, as that's
Chester
going,
goes to
go ahead,
climb
Chester.
under the table until he realizes that's where they're going off, and instead climbs on top of the table.
I actually, it depends whether Ava would be at dinner or not, but depending on
Okay.
what happened earlier. But yeah,
That's up to you. Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I need to discuss with you a few things beforehand.
that's fine.
I kind of, I
Uh,
want to try and, like, this is not going to go well for me because my sleight of hand is terrible, but I want to try and, like, stealthily prestidigitation the fireworks when they pop up around Polly to just,
Okay.
like, glitter and say, like, goblins are people too. Because she took the other side during the
She
debate.
did. Okay, just give me a sleight of hand.
It's going to be awful, y'all.
I know it's going to be awful. I didn't roll for her.
So
Okay.
I'm using my inspiration because that was a
Okay.
2, which would make it
Okay.
a dirty 1.
Well,
So-
technically, we got a prank gun, right?
Oh, that's true.
True. Yep.
That's up to you.
So I rolled. No, just roll me another one.
Okay.
We'll say this one's an advantage because of the prank gone right.
Okay. Wow, just awful. 8.
You beat my 7.
Oh, good.
I rolled a 4 and she's got a +3. For her perception, because she is not paying attention.
This is the stealthiest I've ever been with my 7.
She's in the one glaring at the Ravenclaws right now. Yeah, so within moments, a whole bunch of bangs, whizzes, and more fireworks go off, and like most people are starting to get used to this by now because there's a lot of Weasleys here.
Yeah.
But at the when that happens, there's a lot of like counter stuff about to go off too, because you were definitely seen by a lot of other people, just not
100%, yeah.
Polly. And pretty much for the next like 5 to 10 minutes, it is a full blown firework. What's the word I'm looking for? A show off with prestidigitation.
Sure.
Everyone's just basically starting to throw fireworks at each other with their wands, and turns into a glowing spectacular on a Monday evening.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we
well-
all have pyrokinetics or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yes. And you'd be able to tell like all the teachers and
Pyrotechnics.
professors are pretty much just like standing up, looking around, seeing what's going on, and they just realize nothing major, so they just go back to eating. The prefects, on the other hand, for most of your classes, especially the Slytherins, who I rolled for, pretty much walk up to Rose and Fred and you and give you detention.
For what?
I rolled a nat 20 on perception.
What rule did we actually break?
It's not a rule, but you're causing commotion at dinner time. You have been told not to many times. Yeah, you have been, actually. Quite a few times you've been told not to do this. Yeah. Dumbledore's told you, Dippet's already said not to do any of that during dinners and stuff. So it has been
I've never
known not
heard
to
it.
do this. That's okay. So you guys are all going to be given detention for tomorrow morning before classes.
Why are they giving their own classmate detention? They're bad Slytherins. Okay.
But yeah, mainly because you have been told, especially not at dinner time. During in the hallways, they probably wouldn't care too much. They just tell you to move along, but not in a crowded room.
I tell them that. You're bad Slytherins. Okay.
All right, Chester, you are diving for cover, and then you realize that is the terrible thing to do, and you jump off the table. Anything else you wanted to do?
Well, no, as
During
more
that?
people are at one slinging, I said I would just go ahead and Hadiash at that point.
Beautiful. Okay. before all this happens, then Ava, what are you doing in the morning? Well,
Right.
that day or whatever.
Yeah, that day, as soon as classes are over, she would go
Mhm.
hide in a toilet again. And this
Okay.
time, she's still trying to figure out what she might need. I remembered something.
Yep.
Can I look at it using the spy, like the aura thing, spyglass?
Yep.
Do I see anything like through that?
You see some sort of enchantment.
Okay.
The enchantment itself, you would be able to tell that until the enchantment on it is gone, it's not going to reveal what's underneath the enchantment.
Okay. And it's just a business card of Draco's, and it says should be in a Slytherin. That's all it says.
Yes.
Do
But
I?
you'd be able to ascertain that there's something hidden inside of it still, or on it,
Yeah.
that needs to be revealed. It's
Okay.
almost like he's testing you to learn something.
To learn something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And ooh, okay. I will. I would have. I probably given that. I probably would not be at dinner. I would probably be skipping dinner in the library,
Okay.
trying to
Okay.
figure out what I need to do.
Mhm.
Because Mariana is not really thinking straight, but maybe Ava's roles will do it.
Okay. Is there anyone you would talk to? Would you go to the librarian? Would you talk to another older student? What do you think Ava would do to try and figure this out? Would she actually ask, do you have a spell that can do this for me?
I might ask the librarian, but I would be careful to show only one side of the card so she doesn't see who's it from.
Perfect. Yeah. Your librarian is technically a squib, so she doesn't know a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But she would know enough, mainly because of all the books that she has, that most of them are enchanted, and she would know how to turn that on and off. So this would be a spell she is familiar with. Oh, yeah, it's just a standard. You just need to dispel what is the enchantment that's on it, and something should either appear or some books that we have. Some people have the ability to like hide something on it, so maybe there's something wrapped around it. It's hard to tell until it's dispelled. I'm assuming you haven't learned how to do that though.
No, is there something a first year is supposed to learn?
Um, well, learning the enchantment, it's more, I believe, in your second year textbook for charms. So, do you have your second year textbook for charms, by the way?
Do you
If not, I
have a
could show
copy
you
at the
one.
library? Yes, please.
Well, I could either do it for you, or I could teach it to you. It's not something that is illegal, so yes.
I would love to learn. Yes, please. So she would be
Okay.
absolutely into learning this as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah. Your
skipping
librarian
dinner.
doesn't mind teaching, and so give me a quick Arcana and a performance, please.
Here we go. This is where I roll really well and really poorly. Okay, the first one was good. What was the first one?
Arcana.
Uh, 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 da, 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 da. 22 for Arcana.
Okay. Yeah, you realize while you're doing this that, yeah, definitely there's something hiding inside of it. Performance, please, to see if you can get the. She's teaching you Finite Incantatum. Dispel
Finite
magic.
Incantatum, yeah.
Yeah.
The performance. That is a 15. Let me see if I have inspiration. I don't. I hope that's enough.
She's going to tell you that you can do this like on the fly, or you can take like some time and keep practicing, and you can do this like over time. It'll still work for you. But once you get the hang of it, you can do this like pretty much instantaneous. But if you have trouble sometimes remembering it, just keep practicing.
Right. So I haven't learned it yet, then. I didn't manage to do it.
What was your performance?
15.
Oh yeah, you're fine then. I needed
Oh,
13
okay.
or above to learn a spell.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, you learn Finite Incantum. When you finally get the spell correctly, out shoots another little piece of paper.
I grab it and run out. I
She just
don't
kind of
want
looks.
her to see.
Thank
Uh,
you. You're welcome.
But actually,
That's pretty much all you hear.
yeah. Actually, would I have to practice on it? Because if not, I wouldn't have practiced on it.
It would have been on it because yeah, she wasn't going to give you something else to practice with
Oh, okay.
because you gave her something, so
Okay.
you would have to practice on it. Yep.
Okay. Sorry.
Mhm.
Okay, so I will run to a cubicle in the toilet and read it.
Okay. It just says from the desk of Draco Malfoy, from the it's got his business card pretty much on it again. This letter will give Ava Harper a 1-week internship at a shop in the summer.
Yes, she starts celebrating and she like hides it. But there's nothing else on it, is there?
Nope,
Okay.
nothing.
So Ava. Oh. Yeah, Ava is going to try to. At this point, I assume it would probably be after dinner because it would have taken a while.
Okay.
So she would have tried to find Scorpius if he's still around.
Okay. Probably after dinner on a Monday. Just give me a straight D100.
D100, okay. 35.
35, you do not find him anywhere at this time of the day. Yep.
Yeah, she's like.
You'd be able to tell nights are hard to find him and Albus. They seem to be doing other things. Whether or not you would have realized that Alonzo and Gideon have also been with them more than you have lately. I'm not too sure if you would have known that they're doing. Would Gideon have told them you're doing practice Quidditch with them or not?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
We were told this was a secret.
Yep.
Yeah, so Ava.
Gideon's
Ava
bad
will-
with secrets, though.
You decided that.
Yeah, in
It's
that
true, though. Every
case.
time you learn something, you immediately usually tell
I
people.
am a journalist, okay? Journalistic integrity means I share all the things, unless they benefit me more to keep them. So far,
Okay.
they haven't. This one does.
Okay, love it.
So here's a quick question just above table. Was there
Yep.
another way to unlock this, or did it have
No.
to be dispelled?
Just spell magic. Yep. It's the only
Okay.
thing that was going to work.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
He wanted you to know whether or not you were capable of anything major yet.
Okay.
Because dispel magic is technically something you wouldn't learn until second year.
Okay. All right. I will.
Unless you found it hidden in another book like Chester did.
Right.
But you don't know that. You don't know he can do that.
No, that's all right.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. After that, then if after looking around for a while she can't find Scorpio, she would go back to their dorm,
Mhm.
to kind of see if there's been any if anyone's leaning more towards a decision or another. But yeah.
Well, Amelia, after dinner and all that, do you think you have came up with a idea, or is there anything else you want to do for the remainder of the week? Also during that.
Well, I'm still not awake.
Okay.
Okay, so Amelia knows that the ministry is going to ask them what their decision is.
Yep.
And then she knows that if they want to share it, they have to be very convincing. I think Amelia is leaning more towards not. And it's one of two reasons. One, she is not a very charismatic person. Um, she's she can't talk her way out of anything or into anything usually. But she's also concerned about other people
Yep.
getting a hold of it, and they don't need to have a hold of it. Ah!
Gotcha.
So
Well,
what she'll probably do before she comes to her final decision is go to the owlery and hang out.
okay.
And what she has started recently do, or what she decided she was going to start doing, is she has a book of just blank parchment, and then she will sit up there and she will write out her thoughts like the good little
Nice.
Ravenclaw
Yep.
that she is, and she'll make pros and
Yep.
cons list,
Okay.
as much detail as her little 11-year-old brain can get.
Nice.
And then
By
she'll
now,
ask
would you have?
Winston, "What do you think?"
Yeah.
And he'll
Would
just
you
go,
have
"Oh,
asked Clara by now what the name of her owl is?
yes." I would have been like, "Hey, just wondering, because my stuff kind of shows up at
I've been
your
losing stuff
post."
too. I thought it was just me.
Wait, is that stuff on Winston's perch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I don't go up to the Owlery that often. Is that where it is?
Yeah, yeah.
Her name. Her name's. Her name's Cassidy.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah. Um. I don't see her as often as I probably should. Because well, most things really. I don't really need to call home that often or send messages, and they don't really send me a lot. So she's just she's just up there. That's
I
probably why she
raised
is
Winston
with
from a
Whiston if she's
hatchling.
bored. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, ours has been in the family for a while. She's quite old. Well, old for an owl anyway. I think she's well, Dad had her when he was my age, so I think she's like 50-ish. But her breed lived to like 300, so she's
Mm-hmm.
technically still teenagers, maybe a young adult.
And Winston's just a baby.
Yep, attaboy.
Chester said it in the chat, and I was trying so hard not to.
Yeah, definitely a cougar owl.
Yes, it's the
Oh my
fantasy. It's the
god.
fantasy age gap, but reversed.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
As long as they're happy,
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair.
I
Like,
don't
No,
know.
do owls even know how old they are?
Probably
Like,
I
not.
don't think so. Amelia asked her if Cassidy is like allergic to anything, or she can't have certain things, like treat
Oh,
wise.
no, no, she's good. Um,
Okay.
she's been through a lot. You know, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
divorced, 3 kids,
Yeah, yeah,
Because my
yeah.
parents send treats for Winston every couple of weeks, so I'll share
Oh,
some because
yeah,
I go see him a lot, like once or twice a
yeah.
day.
I'm pretty sure Cassidy goes in and out of the Forbidden Forest for food on her own. Like, plus the school, like feeds them all anyway. But
Mm.
she's happy out in the wild.
Yeah, I think Dad has put like the owl. Dang it. The owl equivalent of like catnip in
Okay,
these treats. So
nice.
I just want to make sure she could have some every so often because I have to hide them from Winston.
Yeah, no, all good here. Tell
Does
her I
this
said
mean
hi when you're up there
Amelia's?
because I don't go up that often.
I will. Does this mean Amelia's gonna be a grandma soon?
100%.
Maybe by summer.
Oh gosh. Okay.
He's just the best little guy. Yeah,
Little stud.
yeah, that's fine. All right. So Clara and Cirrus and even Kala, they most of them they want to learn it and see what happens first, and then decide what to do.
I'm okay. I agree with this.
Yeah. I mean, because Amelia does
It's
want to learn
a-
it anyways,
Yes, I want to
Yeah.
Like, she
definitely
wants
wanna learn
it.
it. Yeah.
but she also
Yeah.
worries about other people getting a hold of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
there's no
like-
question as to whether we want to learn it. We do.
Of
Is
course.
then what happens after.
Yes. Okay. So the consensus is you 5 learn it, see what happens, and then decide whether or not it's safe enough to teach to everyone else.
I'd say yeah, and also ask some questions out of the ministry, because if we're gonna have to let it in front of them anyway, we can ask
Yep.
how it would be handled, and
Okay.
that can also help make our decision. I think.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So at some point, you guys let Professor Flip know that you have came to a decision. Almost immediately, as soon as you guys all gather up on him, he takes you back into the Ravenclaw dorm room, common room. Which goes back on here. Back over to the Ravenclaw dorm room, and you all know that the flu network is currently turned off at school, just due to a few other weird things that are happening. You see him pull out a wand and tap on the fireplace here, and you see something flicker. You then see this person appear immediately inside the flu network in the Ravenclaw dorm room.
I don't like him. He looks creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
He's
pops
giving
out.
me the bad guy vibes that Amelia's like terrified of.
Yeah, he pops out almost immediately and shakes himself off and goes, "You have not cleaned that in some time, Professor. Maybe you should. Anyway, I am Thaddeus Quillstroke. I am the senior specialist in specialist of our Arcana analysis and ethical spellcasting from the Department of Ministries. I am told I am here to decide the fate of a new spell. In next session, we will decide the fate of the next spell. I'm going to type out what he is because I cannot pronounce the wording for this. Arcane analysis. I think that's what it is. Yeah, arcane analysis.
Yeah,
I'll put it in
he's giving
Discord
me
for you.
Thomas Wake vibes, and I'm not here for it.
Ava was like, "Actually, you're here to witness us deciding."
Yeah.
But she
Arcane
held her
Technically
tongue.
speaking,
Actually, it's an old spell.
actually,
So, yeah, next session, you guys can deal with the senior specialist of the Department of Ministries, good old Thaddeus.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yay! I don't like him.
and Amelia's over here like, would Helena
we-
be disappointed in us for doing this?
Yeah, I have no
Thaddeus
idea.
Quillstroke. You would also be able to tell from the picture, he is in full Ravenclaw colors.
One of us. One of
Hey.
us.
That makes sense.
So that might
totally
be
makes
helpful
sense.
in the long
We'll
run.
see. Okay.
Cool. Well, thanks everybody. That was fun.
Yeah, it
We got
was
a lot
good.
done for our first session in a while. I screwed up on a few things, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Gideon's getting detention for the
Yeah,
first
it was
time.
bound to
That's
happen.
bound to happen.
It was a question of when, not if.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. To be fair, I've done several things. However,
Yeah,
I blame the pots. They should have more house pride than that.
I
They
rolled
should know.
I rolled 4 perception rolls. I got a 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Oh no, they should have seen. I rolled
Of
an
course.
8. However, as
Uh-huh.
Slytherins, they should have only given detention to other non-Slytherins.
They could
That's
have
how it works.
pretended they
Especially
didn't see.
since they all hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair for sure.
There's still prefix. They still have to.
They don't have to.
They
It's
had to make
fine.
a show of it before the Gryffindor prefix got there.
Maybe they didn't
True.
see. They didn't just go inside. It's
Yeah,
fine.
but they could, like, they could-
anything.
The
I
only
rolled
one
a
that
8.
didn't
The
see is
Gryffindors didn't
Polly.
Yeah,
I was
this is
gonna-
true. That's the good thing. She didn't clock it, even though in the back of her head she's just going, Gideon!
Probably, yeah, that's fair. But you
Like
can't prove
Gideon's
it,
senses are
bitch.
tingling.
There are
Uh,
worse senses to
I
have.
just felt
Yeah.
like the
I
Slytherin
think
prefix.
she's.
Go on.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think the Slytherin prefix should have like hanged back, seen if anyone else noticed, and then if they were forced to, maybe.
yeah,
'cause
it was
they
more
could've-
once everybody
They
else
could have
started.
just gone to the Gryffindors
To the
that they'd
Gryffindors?
seen and given
Mhm.
them detention, and then if
Mhm.
any of the others had seen, they could have then given it to me. Which,
Yeah.
because fair enough, but
Yeah.
it's fine. Now we have beef. Now I have beef with the Potts twins.
I'm impressed that Gideon is Polly's arch nemesis. I thought there was somebody she hated more than that.
There's a few. But Gideon's done most of the retaliatory stuff.
I have done most of the actual spells.
Yes, that too.
But
Yep.
she's seen none of them, right?
She's seen one, I
She
believe.
just can't prove them.
No.
Because
Yeah.
didn't
'Cause
Fred get blamed for the
she-
cupcake or whatever?
She knows
Yeah,
that I did one, but I
you tripped
twisted
her.
it so that it looked like I saved her.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, she believes you did trip her and go face first.
Which 100% I did.
Yeah, of course.
And then I
Mhm.
saved her.
Yeah, and put it all on Fred.
Yeah. Which nobody believes, but also, like, fine, here's a
I know.
scapegoat. It's whatever.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks, guys. That was fun.
Mm.
Yeah, so Thaddeus sees a tall, slender wizard with owl-like spectacles, a swept-back mane of silvery hair, and a long navy blue robes embroidered with Ravenclaw symbols. Yeah, that's pretty much it for him. You'll learn more about him later. It's going to be fun. He's a big
I
old
gotta-
man, but hey.
I
You
gotta bounce, but
Yep.
what's happening the rest of the week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, bye.
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 Yes.
I will just really quick try to do a switcheroo here.
Yep. You're good.
Sorry.
Do I have to do the credits for something bad happens at Hogwarts if I blow the horn?
Well, you never know.
Try and find out.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be fun.
No, Chester.
I don't know
won't blow
whether or
it.
not.
Belvedere.
I don't
might have,
know
but
whether.
Chester won't blow
Yeah.
it.
I don't know whether or not Chester would decide to figure out what it says first before he blows it, but.
Nope.
Mhm.
It's just a pretty artifact.
Okay.
Yep.
Makes this world
Well.
slightly more real. He's
Yeah.
losing his ability to stay in denial.
Well, if we ever get to it, I have a 5-page thing about the horn, so it'll be fun.
Ooh, damn.
Uh-huh.
Watch him bring it to a D&D game if his character gets it. Blow it for real. Here, Yash.
The best cosplaying is getting the actual item.
Yep.
Right, real quick before signing off, the events that
Yep.
are gonna happen, right? So we've got
Yep.
tonight at 5 p.m. EST here on Twitch. We have Legends of Mythos. There will be one of the players missing, but we're still gonna go ahead with it. Then tomorrow, I believe at 7:30 p.m. EST, we have Curse of Strahd.
Back to back, yeah. This weekend
Yeah.
next.
Then on Monday at 10 a.m. EST, also here on Twitch, we have Vecna, Eve of Ruin. That same evening, but on Discord at 7 p.m. EST, we have Hubblewood. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Then at 7:30 p.m. EST on Thursday, which is a bit of a jump, we've got Call College with Mario, also on the Discord. And at this time next week, here on Twitch, we have Strixhaven, A Curriculum of Chaos, which will be Saturday at 10 a.m. EST, a week from today, so pretty full week, actually.
Yeah. Lots going on. Cool.
Lots going on indeed.
Yeah. Well, thanks, everyone. It's been a bit, but we should be back to a bi-weekly schedule of Hogwarts. So we got a couple more sessions left before we end our first year of school. Our plan is to let our players decide what they're doing for summer holidays. Then we're going to move into second year of school. And once second year of school is over, we're going to switch to sixth and seventh year. It's going to be fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks, guys. That was fun.
Bye.
We got some more
What's
stuff
you're
done.
gonna do for summer?
Right?
Oh.
And we finally know
Wow.
Winston's girlfriend's name.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That is the main take of this session.
Yep. Is Chester going to be back with the parents? It's going to be interesting.
We'll see. Find out.
Yeah.
What parents?
Exactly.
Anyway,
You said
bye,
it like
everyone.
early episode.
I know.
You
It's
did?
I
just
know.
him. Nobody clued into what that meant yet, and I just spelled it. Whoops,
Nope.
sorry. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.